Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's CATIV Autodesk Virtual Academy. I'm Nigel Mbayak, application engineer and your host for CATIV AVA. So for those of you who are returning AVA members, definitely we thank you for all of the support you've given us over the last couple of years. We've had over 100 sessions. They've all been super great. If you want to take a look at any of those, they're going to be on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/CATIV Technologies. But that's enough about CATIV. Today we have a very special guest. Over the last couple of weeks, we've been doing What's News in both Vault and Inventor. This week, as you can read there on the screen today, it's going to be AutoCAD 2019. What's new in AutoCAD 2019? What kind of great announcements they have to make. We've been doing this every year for the last 2 years. They've been very successful. So definitely want to welcome our special guest here, Marcus O'Brien from Autodesk. How's it going, Marcus?
Hey, everyone. How's it doing? I'll just turn my camera on so people can see me briefly. I'm delighted to be here today. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. If you guys recognize his voice, Marcus was actually on the What's New 2018 webcast we did about 12 months ago. So I'm definitely excited to see what everything, how all of these improvements have culminated together in the new 2019 releases, and hopefully you all are too. If you have any questions, go ahead and type them into the GoToWebinar chat panel at any time. That's going to be on your screen. Probably in that GoToWebinar panel, there will be something called questions. Go ahead and type them in. We'll go ahead and address those either during the webcast, if we're on that section, or at the end during our dedicated Q&A. So expect to be here anywhere between 30 minutes to 50 minutes or so, depending on how long questions last. But I think with that, I'll go ahead and pass it on to Marcus, and we'll get going here. So Marcus, you got the floor.
Great, and I'm going to turn off my webcam now so that I can get started. Great. Welcome, everybody. So this presentation is about a 30-minute presentation. I'm going to start off and just do some expectation setting in terms of, I'm going to go back and talk about AutoCAD up till now in terms of subscription. So the first 10 minutes is about the history of AutoCAD, and then the last 20 minutes is about AutoCAD 2019 specifically. It's about a 30-minute presentation, and for anyone who needs to drop off early, if you do, I'm hoping you don't, but feel free to reach out to me or my team if you have any questions on acad.platform.pm. I'll be showing that at the end, but it's acad.platform.pm at autodesk.com. So let's get started. First of all, I have to show this by law. This is our safe harbor statement. People who've seen these presentations over the last couple of days, I'm sure you've seen these before. But this basically says that what I'm discussing today and the information I give you is to the best of my knowledge today. This is things may change in the future. So anytime I refer to a future state, I'm being honest with my opinion today, but can't guarantee that that will be a future state, and don't base any of your purchasing decisions based on the future state comments that I make. So first of all, I just want to talk about AutoCAD in terms of as a product and how we got to where we are today. So AutoCAD is everywhere. So whether you're running AutoCAD Windows on the back right-hand side, or AutoCAD for Mac on the left, or if you're running AutoCAD mobile version, iOS or UWP or Android versions, or whether you want to use AutoCAD Web, there really is an AutoCAD for you anywhere. And when we talk about AutoCAD being anywhere, it's also heavily used by our customers. So token flex usage is how we sell AutoCAD to our biggest customers, our enterprise customers. And basically what token flex usage is we'll sell maybe 100 tokens to a customer, and they will then bill them for every day that they use AutoCAD or any of our products. We will bill them, say, 5 tokens for using AutoCAD that day, as an example. What it means is that we have to have very accurate and very strong data in terms of all of Autodesk's product usage. And when we look at AutoCAD, when we look at our heavy users, we see that customers spend 52% of their time in AutoCAD, next being Civil 3D, and this is not even including our specialized tool sets or our traditional vertical products. This is base AutoCAD. So if you're one of those people who spends a lot of time in AutoCAD, you're not alone. You're actually, this is in par with everybody else in the industry. When we look at low usage, so people who don't use as much of the product as, say, our heavy users, it's even higher. So people who use a little bit of Autodesk software will spend up to 70% of their time in AutoCAD. So AutoCAD is everywhere, and AutoCAD is incredibly heavily used by people in the industry. When we look at the history of AutoCAD, we've had 35 years of continuous innovation. So since 1982, where we had our first release, the products continue to evolve. We added 3D capabilities in 1988. AutoCAD for Mac was first introduced in 1992 and then reintroduced in 2010. AutoCAD Mobile we brought to the market first in 2010. And then, of course, in 2016, we switched to a subscription-based business model. But what I would say is, in addition to 35 years of continuous innovation, we've had 35 years of continuous comparison. So we're our own worst enemy here in terms of saying, what are the new features of 2018 versus 2017? What are the new features in AutoCAD 2019 this year compared to 2018? And what I'm going to try to do today is convince you that that's probably not the best way to view AutoCAD in future. So, for example, when you use I'm sure most of you use Office, Office Professional in your job. When was the last time you said, what's the new feature that Microsoft Word has this year that it didn't have last year? What's the new killer feature that Outlook has that it didn't have last year? You're much more interested in performance, its capability, and its robustness. So I'm going to try and convince you of that today. So just looking back at how we've traditionally released our product, as you know, we do our major releases in Q1 of 2016 was our first subscription release where we launched AutoCAD 2017. And in Q1 of 2017, we launched AutoCAD 2018. And that's been the typical release cadence that we've had for years, where we do major releases every first quarter of every year. However, it changed in 2016. So it was the first time that we shipped an update, AutoCAD 2017.1. And this was a robust update. It wasn't just bug fixes and service pack. It was a new feature value, so enhancing features that are in the product. And we've continued to do that. So in 2018.1, we shipped in Q2 of 2017. On top of that, we have tertiary releases, which is service packs, hot fixes, all the things that you'd always have. But these updates come out in between those. And we have actually even more than I've shown here. This is a slightly older slide. But the point of this slide is that the reason I'm saying this is that why would you compare 2018 AutoCAD to 2017 AutoCAD in terms of new features? Because as we've changed to the subscription business model, we no longer just add a feature. So in 2017, we didn't just add, say, 3D graphics performance enhancements. It's a theme that we decided to work on, and we've continued to update it across multiple releases. So PDF import, for example, we first launched that. I'm going to talk about it very briefly for people who already know this feature. We launched that in 2017. We continued to update in 2017.1, and then we finished it in 2018. So these are things that we do across multiple releases. I'm not saying this because we don't do individual features. Of course we do. I don't have time to talk about individual features today. I'm going to talk about themes that we're investing in. But this slide is just showing that, yes, of course, we work on individual features. We're providing tons of new value all the time, but we're doing them in themed releases. One thing I just want to mention is that we do these things called seamless updates now. So when we first changed over to this business model, so our big hurdle that we had to get over was we were hearing CAD managers say, with continuous delivery of features, how can my team possibly stay up to date with the new features released? And we created this new orange dots, these seamless updates for customers to show that when we add a new feature, that we highlight it in the ribbon so that you can hover over it and see a tooltip. You can press F1 to go on, get more help on it, or go online to watch tutorials. And as always, it being a new feature, yes, you can turn off this capability if it's annoying and you don't want to see it. But it's to help our customers onboard instead of having to do major training sessions every 2 years or so to stay up to speed. What this does is allow people that as part of their workflow, they can learn the features as they go, and it actually reduces the cognitive load. From the research that we've done, this is actually an easier and better way for people to stay up to date and stay up to speed without having to have the big expense of training every 2 years. So I talked about PDF import. This is not a new feature in 2019, but I'm just going to use it as a strong example of the new way that we develop features for people. So the DWG file format is synonymous with the construction industry and with the manufacturing industry to a large degree. So DWGs are estimated to be open between 2 and 5 million times a day. The PDF file format, as we know, is also king in these industries and a very important file format. And one of the things that we were hearing a lot was, it would be fantastic if we could take PDFs that have been created and import them as DWG so we could start working on them immediately. So in AutoCAD 2017 was the first time that we introduced this feature where you could import a PDF. I'm just going to show it here on the screen now. So we've got the Mountain View cabin here. We see a preview of the PDF that we'll be importing. Click open. You can select which sheet you want to import. Click OK, and this is in real time. Bottom right, we're loading, and now we have a PDF that's been successfully imported. So these lines that have been imported as lines and polylines, vectors. We've got text has been converted to end text, and this was the first pass that we made at this in 2017. And in the past, that's where it would have ended. But because we're providing continuous value and we decided to invest in PDF as a theme, we listened to our customers carefully. And one of the things that we heard was they want to be able to recognize Shix type fonts. So PDF import was fantastic at recognizing true type fonts, but Shix text, it was not something that it was capable to do immediately. And we heard that this was the number one thing people wanted. So in our 2017.1 update, which came immediately afterwards, we added that capability. So now when you want to do a Shix font, you'll see here for the flag notes where it's a true type font, it recognizes that as M text. But for this N here in mean, you'll see that it recognizes a polyline, not as text. So what we're going to do is we're going to press the recognize Shix text. We're going to highlight this box. We're going to say this area is text. So this is our text recognition box. What we can do is we can add Shix fonts that you might have locally on your system that you want to compare against. And what we'll do is we'll type in a font preview here. We're going to do Jacuzzi in this instance. And what we're going to do is we're going to run the recognition, the best recognition match. So on the right, you can see we've got a 95% recognition threshold. So let's run this. And you can see that that's been successful. So 8 out of 8 groups selected, 23 text objects created. And now this is M text and it's editable for the customer in that drawing. So now when you get a PDF import, a PDF and you want to import as a DWG, there's no problem. AutoCAD can handle that. I'm very quickly going to talk about 3D performance because I talked about it earlier. But basically, we've enhanced 3D graphics performance. We've invested in it between the AutoCAD 2015 release and AutoCAD 2019 in our most recent release. We've made significant changes. You can see here that on the left-hand side, the drawing converts to wireframe when you rotate, pan, zoom, and orbit. Whereas on the right-hand side, it doesn't need to do this. So I'm happy to say that because of this continuous investment that we make, instead of doing it for one release, because it's across multiple releases, 3D navigation performance is now up to 10x faster for pan, zoom, and navigate functions, which are the most used for our 3D wireframe realistic and shaded visual styles. They are 10x faster today than they were in AutoCAD 2015. And of course, we're 4K ready. One significant investment that we've made is that we've been making AutoCAD much more 4K ready, and we've continued to do that in 2019 today. The reason I'm showing this now is to show the state we were in before 2019. So back in 2017, before we made the changes, this is what it might have looked like if you connected to a 4K monitor. Very, very small start page, disproportionately small compared to your monitor. But when you open a drawing, you can see you've got an absolutely giant command line. The view cube on the right-hand side is very, very small. When we look in the toolbars and we open the draw toolbar, you'll see that that's tiny on the left-hand side. And when we look at, if we open a property palette, which we'll do in about 5 seconds, you'll see that the font is disproportionate, that some of the font is the correct size, but some of it is far too big. So there you go. So the change that we made up until 2018, so not in the latest release, was to fix these major problems that we had. And what we've done is we've worked on looking at correcting tool palettes, looking at properties palettes, tool sets, properties palettes, command line, and view cube to make sure that these display correctly visually. And this is what it looked like in our 2018 version. So you can see the view cube's the correct size. The command line is much smaller and much more proportionate. If we look at properties, that the font works just much better. And it's, we've been investing in that to make sure that we're 4K ready. So 10 minutes in, let's talk about AutoCAD 2019. What's the newest thing about AutoCAD 2019? Well, I'm very excited to say that this is actually a massive release for us. This is one of the biggest things that we've done in AutoCAD in many years. So there's 3 different parts of AutoCAD 2019. One is the whole outer layer, the one AutoCAD. Flexibility to choose which tool set to choose for you, which is the best tool set to help you in your workflow. The second part of that, the second layer of the onion, is the multi-platform, where you can work how and where you want so that AutoCAD follows you. And then the last part of this are what are the new themes, I should say themes rather than features or enhancements that we've continued to work on, and what are the new areas we're going to invest in from now until the future in terms of AutoCAD 2019. So let's just look at the tool sets first of all. What am I talking about when I mean tool sets? Maybe you've heard about specialized tool sets, but what do I mean? So when you subscribe to AutoCAD 2019, when you have open a new subscription, or if you switch to this subscription, you'll be entitled to architecture, mechanical, electrical, MEP, Plant 3D, Map 3D, and raster design tool sets. So this is the first time that we've made this functionality available, so that if you subscribe to AutoCAD, you get all of the tool sets included in one bundle. So what does that look like? So maybe you want to use AutoCAD Architecture 2019 and the specialized tool sets that we've created for the architecture industry. Or perhaps mechanical is something. Maybe we've got mechanical engineers who design parts and for the manufacturing process. Maybe you'd like to have access to those specialized tool sets. Some 700,000 plus specialized tools, I might add. So in terms of objects, styles, specific libraries and tools for those industries, these are all included in AutoCAD now. Maybe you'd like to have access to the AutoCAD electrical tool sets so that you can do schematic design and panel layouts. Or AutoCAD MEP, or AutoCAD Map 3D, Plant 3D, or raster design functionality. All of these tool sets are now included in one AutoCAD. So when you subscribe to AutoCAD, you get everything. So I'm going to play a short video. And of course, I just want to add for anyone who's on a collection that we've also, anybody who has a collection that has AutoCAD in it today, all of those specialized tool sets have been added to those collections also. So I just want to quickly run through kind of how you get access to these tool sets, because that's a question I get a lot. So if people go to Accounts Portal, one thing they can do is go to their management, and you'll see on the left-hand side, there's a new AutoCAD including specialized tool sets tab. And within that, you'll see that you have access to all of these tool sets now, where you would have traditionally only have had AutoCAD. Again, I would just say that this is for customers who are, when you come up for subscription renewal, you need to reach out to your reseller and ask them to switch you over to the new AutoCAD, including specialized tool sets, and you'll be switched over to these tool sets. What you can see is we've also added previous release support as we do. So you'll have access to 2019, of course, but you'll also have 2018, 2017, and 2016, as you can see, for all your devices, as you will do with all of these specialized tool sets. If you prefer to download things or use Wingman or our Autodesk desktop app, you'll see here that they'll appear for you here, and you can just hit install, and then it'll install them for you. When we go to Autodesk.com, you'll see that trials for people who want to trial these tool sets before they buy them. We've changed the trial experience just a little bit, but if you go to AutoCAD.com, hit on the free trial tab, you'll see that you get the option of which products you want to trial. You can trial any or all of these at the same time. You have to select one at a time to download, but you can download as many as you want of them. So we've talked about the value of the specialized tool sets and how much value that provides to customers across all these different industries, all in one AutoCAD. The second thing I want to talk about is the AutoCAD Everywhere thing that we talked about earlier. So AutoCAD Web and mobile applications. So this is the view the picture that I painted in the past, that really AutoCAD follows you to help you in your workflow wherever you are. But one of the things that we wanted to really work on was AutoCAD Web. And we spent the last 2 years rethinking how we do AutoCAD Web. So anybody who's familiar with AutoCAD WS or AutoCAD 360 Web, the way that we used to do web, it was something that we really wanted to improve on. And to be honest, we didn't get it completely right the first time that we did it. So we went back to the drawing board on this, and this is a completely different version of AutoCAD on the web. What we've done is we've taken our existing AutoCAD C++ code base, we've worked on it for the past 2 years to make it available on web and mobile, and now we're launching, we just launched AutoCAD Web, which is AutoCAD running in a browser. This couldn't be more different from the previous version of AutoCAD Web that we had. And to talk us through it, can I just confirm, could you hear the audio from the last video I played, or do I need to do a voiceover with this?
We did not, so probably just a voiceover on this one would work.
Sure, no worries. So I'm going to show just a brief video here. I'm going to hear voices in my head while I'm playing it, so it might be just a little bit disjointed, but this is what the new AutoCAD Web application looks like. So what you can do is you can sign in, and here we have AutoCAD running in the web. So on the bottom here, you can see that you've got your tools that you can use. What we're doing here is we're going back into, this is AutoCAD Desktop. We're seeing that there's a new feature. I'll go through this in more detail that allows you to share a drawing with web or mobile, or make it available across multiple devices. And once you've done so, you can open it in web like we've just done now. You can see here that we've got copy, move, paste commands. We've got end text editing. We've got saving up in the top right corner. You have to save it so that it doesn't do auto save right now, which is what we heard we want from customers in the short term. You can see that we've got XREF support. So here you can see the XREFs that are in place. We've got a problem with this XREF, which it highlighted. We can go through it to click the XREF to see where it was and to import it. You can see that we've got dimensioning control, orthosnap, all the things that you would expect from AutoCAD in a browser. And you can see how fluid this is. This is someone working very quickly, but this is the speed of this. There's no lag between when you move your mouse. This is part of the AutoCAD subscription. So if you were an AutoCAD subscriber today, you were entitled to use AutoCAD Web and AutoCAD Mobile as part of your subscription. If you're not a subscriber and you just want to check it out, go to web.autocad.com. So web.autocad.com, and you'll see the free version. You won't have access to all of the tools, but you'll be able to see how smoothly that it works. You'll be able to use simple things like measure and turn layers on and off and things like that. But this really is a new implementation of web, and we're very, very excited about it this year. So in addition to that, we've got just one of the things I want to point out that happened very quickly in that video is that when you're in desktop, in order to make this work better, we've added these two new features. So save to AutoCAD Web and Mobile and open from Web and Mobile. So in the past, it was a little bit difficult to do this. And for customers, maybe they were forced to email drawings to themselves, or plug in their iPads or their iPhones to their desktop and save the files over manually, which was a tremendous pain point for this. And we wanted to make this process much easier. So if there's a drawing that you're working on at your office and you're sitting at your desk and you want to make that available across multiple devices, just use the Save to AutoCAD Web and Mobile button. And that will make the drawing available for you on web and mobile when you get to those devices. Same as if you start something in mobile or you start something in web, and when you get back to the office the next day, you want to continue working on it, you can just open that from web by simply going to the Open From Web button, which will bring it into your desktop, and you can save it down to wherever on your network that you usually save your files. So the last part of this is talking about the new themes and the new enhancements that we've made in AutoCAD 2019. So the first one, that I think probably the biggest thing, and the thing that we're intending to, so don't base any future buying decisions on this, but something that I intend to continue to invest in, is DWG Compare. So we've really made a robust implementation of taking two drawings and highlighting the differences between them. So it makes it easy to review and understand what parts of the drawings have changed. So what I can see here is we're missing the video for that. Here we go. So here we go. What we're going to do is we're going to take this drawing. We're going to go to the Collaborate tab. And you'll see that we have DWG Compare here, our new feature. So what we're going to do is we're going to hit Compare. What it automatically does is select as your master drawing, the drawing you're currently in. You can change this, obviously, and you can change the colors. So what we're going to say is the existing drawing we're in, we want to be green because we want to keep. And the red is the ones that from a modification that we want to highlight as something that maybe we don't want to compete. Yeah. Now this is being done in real time. This is the comparison happening. And what you can see is a third drawing was created. So your original floor plan drawing is still up here on the left-hand side, but our new comparison drawing has been created to show the differences between these two drawings. So what you can see here is that the red is the modification and green is your existing. But if you weren't sure about those, you can check drawing info just to make sure which one did I pick. Was it, oh, there's the mod, okay. So you've got your information on it. You can see that we can cycle through the changes as we go through one to make sure that you don't miss any for maybe cost consulting or making sure that you have all the changes incorporated. It will one by one show you the changes that have been made. You can also do things like change the draw order. So here you might be confused if it was a hatch or something, which one is on top. As well as turning the revision cloud on or off and increasing the margin or reducing the margin of accuracy. So here on you can see that the margin in the middle of the screen up in the ribbon is set quite low. But if we set that high, maybe all of these changes would be grouped to show more changes. If we had it even lower, say the individual stalls here would be shown as individual changes. So you can do it to the level of accuracy that you prefer yourself. So this is something that we started to invest in AutoCAD 2019. We're very carefully listening to feedback from our customers right now to understand how does this fit into their workflow? Where do we need to make changes and tweaks to make it more usable for them? But when we did this in beta testing, this was something that tested very, very strong. We've been working on this feature for over a year, and it's a very, very robust feature. We're very proud of it this year. The second thing I'm going to talk about is shared views. So customers who are running AutoCAD 2017 on will have a feature called Shared Design View. And this is really kind of an extension of that feature and an enhancement to that theme. We've renamed it Shared Views this year. The reason we've renamed it Shared Views is actually we've rolled out this feature across all of Autodesk products. So you might have seen yesterday, if you did call in, that Inventor has shared views. Along with a number of our hero products. We all have this feature, and it's all the same implementation, the same technology that we've used across our products to make them more, work better together and make them more intuitive for you. So what this feature does, what it used to do in the past was, if you have a DWG that you want to share with one of your clients, and you don't want to share the DWG, maybe they don't have AutoCAD or a way of viewing it, you can share a URL with them so that they can view the DWG and give you comments on it. So the way that this used to work was in the past was you would click the share button. We would take the DWG and send it up to the cloud. In the cloud, it would be converted from a DWG to a viewable. So you never share the DWG, you only share the viewable. And then the viewable would be shared with someone. That person that you shared that URL with could comment in A360 Viewer. And if you, the owner of that DWG, want to see those comments, you would have to go to the A360 Viewer to see those comments and to see anything that they had to say about it. What we've changed this year, based on all the feedback we got from our customers, was, one, it takes too long to upload the file, and two, we don't want to have to go into the A360 Viewer to see the comments. So now what we do is we do local translation. So we convert the DWG to a viewable locally on your machine where you've got lots of horsepower, and you upload the much smaller viewable file to the web, which typically takes a shorter amount of time. Then when it's in the web, when you've got someone who comments on that URL, that comment round trips back, and you can see on the right-hand side of the screen here that those comments appear in your desktop for you. So you can see, oh, new comment available. You can comment directly here in AutoCAD, and that comment will appear on the viewer for that customer. So let's have a little bit of a look at that feature now, how that might work. So supposing that we're doing this with the file that we just created in our Collaborate tab, you'll see that we have shared views as the other feature. So let's share that view now. So we're going to do a new shared view. We're going to share this current view only, and it's going to be a 2D view. and we're clicking share. So share view file complete. You can see that it happened much quicker down here on the right hand side of the browser. And now if we open 360 viewer from here, we can see that file is available for someone. Now what you can do here is you can share it. As you know, in the top right, you can see there's a share button where you would get that URL and send that to someone. What we're going to do here is we're going to pretend to be the client who receives this. We're going to sign in as someone else, someone other than you. And I'm going to use one of my colleagues' sign-ins here so that they can comment on this drawing for me. So maybe we're wondering, are these design changes that we did in DWG Compare, are you happy with these? Should we keep them? So here our client is going to send us a comment saying, this looks great. So we're going to keep these changes as part of this updated drawing. So now here we are back in our own desktop. We don't know if the comments made a change or not, but we can see that we do have one new comment on our drawing. We can see that they've zoomed in on that drawing, and we can see that the comment is, this looks great. So this is a way that we've changed share design views and created just shared views. It's essentially the same feature. It's more efficient, and it round trips in your AutoCAD desktop product so that you have better control over these share outs that you have with your own customers. We've also got, and we've continued to enhance, as I said, our 3D performance and 2D performance, which is the most important thing for our customers in terms of having the most reliable, trusted product that we could have. But these are the key features that we've worked on in the 2019 release. I would say that there's three key things. One is we've included the power of 700 plus specialized tool sets, 700,000 plus specialized tool sets for our customers, for objects, libraries, and parts. We've got AutoCAD follows you everywhere with AutoCAD Web and mobile, launching a brand new AutoCAD Web app, which we've been working on for 2 years. And finally, in AutoCAD Desktop, we've finished our investment in shared views team, and we've started a brand new investment in DWG Compare, which we intend to evolve over time. Thank you for your time for listening to me today. 34 minutes through the presentation, and I'd like to open it up for questions now. Hello?
Marcus, can you hear me now?
Okay, great. I was worried that I'd lost you guys and that how much of that presentation you heard.
Nope, you're good to go. There are definitely some questions here. A lot of thank yous from people so far, so just want to let you know that those are coming through. Sorry for the pause there for a second. Okay, let me go through a couple of these questions. So a lot of them have to deal with the DWG Compare. There's a couple of comments that people really enjoy that feature, and they want to thank you first for implementing that. But specifically, with the DWG Compare, is it only paper space, or is it paper space and model space?
It's actually model space for now, but that's great feedback because, being honest, that's some of the feedback that we've heard a lot of, and so that sounds like another vote for model, or another vote for paper space Compare.
Definitely. And then another, in addition to that as well, is when you're in the model space doing these compares, is it only 2D objects, or does it do 3D as well?
So it's a visual comparison. So what we do is it's not a graphic, it's a graphics comparison, but it's not your screen. So it's not at the pixel level. So we do a calculation to see what has changed between two drawings, and anything that would output differently on the display will be compared. So if you have, what I would say is the short answer is it depends. If it is an object, if it's an AutoCAD object, a 3D object that we recognize and would be displayed, you'll be able to compare the difference in those.
Awesome, awesome. Someone mentions, you said the new Autodesk subscription, or I guess the one AutoCAD, is added to collections. Do you need to move off of maintenance and suites to get the one AutoCAD, or I guess AutoCAD with specialized tool sets in this case?
So AutoCAD including specialized tool sets is for our subscribers only. Yeah, it's a subscriber benefit, as is web and mobile access. What I would say is even our customers who are subscribers today, if you're subscribing to AutoCAD or if you're subscribing to one of our specialized tool sets, supposing you're an AutoCAD mechanical customer, When you renew this year, you will not get AutoCAD including specialized tool sets unless you reach out to your reseller or to Autodesk directly. So if you auto renew, you'll just continue to get the renewal that you have. If you reach out and you want to change, you can move on to AutoCAD including specialized tool sets. There's no difference in cost. We're not trying to sell a more expensive version of AutoCAD. This is a benefit for customers who want to have access to these specialized tool sets.
Definitely. And if anyone has any specific questions about their actual setup, whether or not they're eligible to switch over, when that's possible for some people, if you need to know your renewal dates, definitely reach out to myself or anyone here at Kativ. We're more than happy to be able to square that away for you. Yeah, more suggestions in here for the paper space environment for DWG Compare. Looks like that's a hot topic for this as well.
Great.
And then another
we're
question.
Definitely hearing that.
Yep, certainly. And I'll let you know if I hear that from anyone else too, Marcus.
Sure. Thanks.
Just a real quick question on Advanced Steel and Civil 3D.
Yeah.
Did any of that change, or I noticed that those weren't in?
Yeah. So Advanced Steel and Civil 3D are not they're not one of the specialized tool sets. They continue to be independent products from AutoCAD. So what I would say is while they are AutoCAD, they are part of the AutoCAD platform. They use AutoCAD as a base. Those are typically products that have moved away from AutoCAD to a degree where, while it is part of they do rely on the AutoCAD platform, they've kind of taken those products. Those products have gone in a slightly different direction in terms of development, and are not included as part of specialized tool sets.
Cool. A couple more questions before we let everyone go. Let's run through these. For things like the shared view as well as the mobile applications and the web applications, do they require things like cloud credits, or are those just log in and use them?
Just log in and use them. Yeah, it's as part of your subscription, you get full access to it. You can share it as many times with as many people as you want. Up to you.
Yep, and it's not just AutoCAD, like Marcus mentioned. They're doing it for a lot of the hero products. I've been using it pretty extensively. The shared view functionality, specifically with Inventor, really cool stuff. So expect to maybe see a larger presentation on some of the shared view functionality with some of these hero products moving forward. Just keep an eye out on that. Let's see what else. With PDF import specifically, Marcus, how does that work in regards to scaling? Is it based on the size the PDF was originally generated in, so on and so forth?
It is. It's based on the size of the drawing PDF that was originally generated in. You can obviously scale it yourself afterwards because it's fully scalable once it comes in as a vector object. I would just caveat it and say that we have, these are for PDFs created in AutoCAD or that have, object properties associated with them in terms of if they're a vector or not. If they're a raster PDF, so just something that's been scanned in, they'll have to be imported either as you do today, where you import and underlay it, where you just have an underlay PDF, or you can use raster design to help you convert that raster PDF into object geometry in AutoCAD. But so they're largely for vector PDFs.
Yep, and we've done a session on PDF imports in the past. It was before some of the latest additions were made. But if you need a general look at how the PDF import functionality works, anyone who's asking about this, I did a full-blown how-to AVA, how to use that functionality, I want to say 6 months ago, and that'll be on our YouTube channel. If you want to hear my voice for another 40 minutes, feel free to go ahead and watch that.
And the nice thing about that is, raster design specialized toolset is now included. So if you think of the power of importing vector PDFs with the new PDF import feature, and you combine that with the raster design functionality, there really is, there's nothing you can't do with PDFs now,
Yep. And then just another quick question. I think this will be the last one. I'll give everyone about 30 more seconds to post any more in addition to this. Let's see here. In regards to downloading and installing these tool sets, is there a way to install them all at once, or are they all separate, similar to things like the collection?
That's a great question. So what we've done is if you install AutoCAD, so if you have AutoCAD 2019 installed, or if you install it for the first time, once you install AutoCAD, what we'll do is if you use the install now, so if you're in account portal and you use, there's 3 different ways you can install. There's download now, there's browser download, and there's install now. And I would recommend you use install now when you want, when appropriate, and I'll explain the difference. But if you use install now, what we do is we check your system and we see, is AutoCAD installed? Is AutoCAD 2019 installed? If yes, what we'll do is we'll take just the difference in bits for the specialized tool set. So supposing you're installing mechanical, we'll say there's no need to download or install AutoCAD 2019, that's already installed. We'll just install the difference in bits for mechanical. And we'll do the same for each of the specialized tool sets, so that you're not downloading and installing the full AutoCAD plus the extended bits every single time. So that makes install much faster. Do we have a single install? No, we don't. What we have is we found that customers really want to be able to download and install these separately in the beta testing that we've done, because people might not use all of the specialized tool sets. Just because you've access to them all, it's unlikely you're going to use all of them realistically. So just download and install the ones that you want.
Certainly. And I know previously for things like the suites, at least the ultimate level of the suites, those downloads and install files were massive.
Right.
And this helps that situation definitely.
It does, and it doesn't take a long time either, right? So because we're doing these smaller bundles that you download, it's not a tedious job. Supposing you did it the other way around, still using install now, but you downloaded mechanical first, you didn't download base AutoCAD. The first thing you downloaded was the mechanical specialized tool set. It will check your system, see AutoCAD is not installed, download the full AutoCAD and mechanical specialized tool sets. But if you add any other specialized tool set, it will check, see AutoCAD 2019 is installed, and then continue to work from there. So it's a very smart way for downloading. If you're someone who wants to have the full version of AutoCAD and the specialized tool sets separately for each one, you can do that using download now or browser download. Supposing you're in a managed environment where you do deployments and things, maybe that's something that you want to do. You can always do that. You'll always have access to the full download. But for people who just want to do it on their machines and do it quickly, install now is the best way to do it.
Awesome. And if anyone needs help with the installation activation, reach out to anyone here at the Kativ team. We can forward you to any of our support people. That's what they're there for, helping people out. So, okay, one more question before we let everybody go. It's about 10:45, at least my time. Probably different for everybody else. But last question, in regards to the shared views, do you need an Autodesk account to consume those, or even send those in general? Because some people want to, I guess, send them to downstream customers for visuals, so on and so forth.
So what happens is, as an AutoCAD customer, you'll need to have an Autodesk account. Your sign in. So you'll need to sign in. So here on the top right hand side, you'll need to sign in there. Once you're signed in, you can share. When a customer receives the URL, the first thing they do when they click on it, they'll be brought to the A360 viewer, and the first thing they'll be asked to do is to sign in with their Autodesk ID. If not, create an ID account. It's very easy. They just have to put in an email address and a sign in. But that's just because we want to be able to see, to make sure that we have, when we round trip the comments, that you know who those comments have come from. So, that URL is shareable with anyone. If someone forwards that to someone who's not the person you want it to be, you want to know that person has signed in and the comments are coming from that person.
Certainly. Yeah, and you don't need a subscription of Autodesk products or maintenance plan of Autodesk products to create an account.
No.
It could be like your next door neighbor, right? You want to share something with, and
that's right.
Or your dog, I guess, so on and so forth. But, I think with that, that's just about everything for today. Again, I'd like to thank Marcus for being here today and being here, I guess, for last year as well. So it's definitely been a journey for sure.
Great. Thanks very much for having me on, and I appreciate all your time today. Have a great day.
Yep, we'll see everyone later. Next week, we'll see y'all for AVA, 10 o'clock Thursday morning, like it is every week. And with that, farewell all, and we'll see you in 1 week's time. Thanks.